Hi, I'm Callie Lewis from Geek Brief TV. It's USB Gadget Rama today on the Live with Leo Laporte.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. It's time for a delicious cup of coffee. No. It's time for The Lab. That's what it's time for. The show where we explain how technology works. Computers, the internet, cell phones, Bluetooth, MP3 players. Oh, I'm exhausted just talking about it.
Busy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kate Abraham.
Hello.
Blue sweater.
Blue sweater.
Bluetooth will be the subject, though, a little later on with Steve Gibson. Do you know we have Bluetooth? There are more Bluetooth devices out there than there are Wi-Fi devices. Billions of them.
I can see.
Every phone, right?
Absolutely.
Most computers now. Well, it turns out it's not very secure.
Okay.
So we'll find out exactly how secure it is and what you can do to make sure that you're not getting snarfed.
Snarfed.
That's what they call it. Bluetooth snarfing. Don't get snarfed. Mr. Excel is here. He's going to show us some more Excel 2007. Love this new Excel, and there's some really nice features in it. And Callie Lewis with USB, as she said, Gadgetorama. Gadgetorama. But we do have some important calls. Your call is important to us. Please hold.
That's what I say to them actually when they're waiting for us to start.
But you said,
stay on the line.
Your call is important to us. Please stand on the line.
It works. They stay on the line.
Oh, they love that. Oh, yeah. She's not English. She just talks.
I put it on, to be honest.
Yes, you are. Let's get our first caller on here.
Brilliant. We're actually going to Sydney, New South Wales, and we have David. And he is a captain.
A captain?
A captain.
A seafaring captain?
A seafaring captain.
Wow. Thank you, Kate. Hello, David.
Hello, Leo. How are you?
I'm great. What do you sail?
Anything from sailing ships to high-speed ferries.
Oh, and Sydney is just a beautiful place to sail, isn't it?
Sometimes not, but yeah, it's quite nice.
When the weather's right, let's put it that way. Well, what can I do for you, David?
True. I have a problem with, I download audio books and stick them on my iPod and listen to them while I'm on watch at night, and I have a real problem. I've just upgraded my notebook from, bought a new notebook, and the one I was running previously was XP, and I'm now running Vista, and I'm trying to transfer the 65 novels that I have on iTunes and just having no luck whatsoever doing it.
Oh, my goodness. Where do you get these audiobooks? Are they from Audible.com or some other source?
Audible.com, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and this is where you get in trouble with is the copy protection. Audible.com uses copy protection on its files. I'm sure they're required to by the publishers. Publishers, like record industry executives and network executives and movie company executives, are very nervous about people stealing their books, and so they probably require this copy protection. Audible's copy protection is very similar to iTunes copy protection. In fact, if you're using iTunes, it's pretty much the same. This is Audible's website, audible.com, and I'm going to launch iTunes here and show you that just as you authorize iTunes by logging in to your iTunes account, you authorize Audible. In fact, it's in the advanced section. And what you want to make sure, this computer has been authorized for Audible to listen to books on my account. Before you throw out your old computer, you want to make sure you open iTunes and deauthorize the Audible account, because they count how many systems you have authorized. So have you done that?
Does it say that you're allowed to have 5 computers on that one?
Yeah, it's not exactly this. That's iTunes. They say 5, and Audible has never really said exactly how many. I've found that if I send them an email saying, hey, I forgot to deauthorize, they'll allow me to add new ones. They're a little bit more flexible, let's say, than iTunes is. So if you can, have you already gotten rid of the XP machine?
We won't talk about geographical restrictions.
Right. Have you got rid of the XP machine now?
No, I've got the XP. I've still got the XP because I can't transfer, so I'm just using iTunes from that.
Okay.
But I want to take the Vista machine to see as a backup.
So the key is to deauthorize before you trash that drive. Don't just deauthorize Audible, deauthorize iTunes as well, because you are limited on iTunes to 5. and then move the books exactly as you would move the music. Just copy those files over. You won't be able to listen to them any more than you'd be able to listen to purchased music from the iTunes store until you authorize the iTunes to play those back. So where I see deauthorize Audible account under the advanced menu, you'll see authorize Audible account. And you'll have to enter in your login and password. And then Audible will give you permission to play back those books on the computer, but more importantly, will allow you to now copy them to your iPod. It doesn't check the iPod. It uses the computer to validate the copy protection. So it's just move them like any other file. You just move them over, and it should move over just fine. You use the iTunes add to library command. If what I would do is I would back them up onto an external hard drive. All your music files, all your Audible files, they're all together in the iTunes music library. Copy that whole folder, and then when you get to your new computer, take that folder or that external hard drive, plug it in, and then select Add to Library from the iTunes File menu, and it will automatically add all the Audible books and all the music in. Now, what will happen as you go along, it'll say when it gets to a copy-protected file, whether it's music or Audible, the first time it'll say, oh, I can't copy this unless you authorize my system.
And that's where you give in the password.
You just log in and password, and then the rest of them will go in. So it's just the first time.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So the key is.
Thank you, Leo.
You're very welcome. The key is to I hate copy. I got to tell you, I hate copy protection. It's crazy. The people this bothers, that this commodes, are all people who've purchased this stuff legally. A pirate strips out the copy protection. You wouldn't be asking this question, David, if you were a pirate instead of a sea captain. You'd just be stripping the copy protection out. But no, you're an upstanding, upright sea captain, and you want to do the right thing. So you've got to jump through these hoops. To me, that doesn't make sense. Copy protection makes the honest people jump through hoops, and the crooks stroll along no problem. What kind of prevention is that?
Well, yeah, that's the whole problem. And yeah. Thank you, Leo.
Anytime. It's great to talk to you, David. I tell you what, next time I'm in Sydney, can I look you up and we can go on a sailfish ride across the...
Yeah, we're organized for you to go on a cruise.
Cruise would be even more fun. Thanks, David.
As long as you bring Kate along.
Kate, you want to go on a cruise? We're going on a sea cruise. Thanks, David. Take care. He likes Kate. Well, who doesn't, I have to say. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Bill Jelen, Mr. Excel is here. He's going to show you how to remove duplicate entries using Excel 2007. Stay right here. The lab continues right after this. Welcome back to the lab. Bill Jelen is here. Mr. Excel. Yay, Mr. Excel. The author of Learn Excel 2007.
97 to 2007.
Well, you see, they have it in little print here. This covers all versions of Excel from 97 to 2007. 10 years of Excel information. 377 Excel mysteries solved. And guess what? It's free.
That's right. Take the whole book.
We were just talking about copy protection. Not only do you not believe in copy protection, you just give it away.
Okay, so let's be honest. 4 years ago, I discovered that someone took the entire book and scanned it.
That's right.
And started giving it away for free.
That's happened in my books as well. Yeah.
Oh, heck, let me give it away for free.
You're going to give it away.
Let me save you the hassle.
And the thing is, I think, and this is really the thing that everybody should realize, if somebody loves something, if they get value out of it, they end up buying the book. They want to have it here next to their computer.
Exactly.
So give it away. So if you want to download the full ebook, you can.
Go to MrExcel.com. Actually, the link in the show notes will take you right to this book. Download the whole thing. You have a whole ebook. The last book we gave away a chapter a week, and so it took you a year to get the whole book.
This one is just
that's a hassle. Just take the whole book.
You're so great,
If
Mr.
it's a good book, go buy it.
Yeah.
If you can deal with the ebook, feel free to use it. I want 5 million people to use this.
I think that's really great.
Right? If I could save an hour a week for 5 million people, that's...
Wow, Mr. Excel.
That's good karma.
He's an altruist.
There you go.
I love that. I think that's so cool. And he comes here all the way from Detroit just to show us.
Cleveland.
Close. Detroit,
yeah,
Cleveland. There's not much difference,
it's all the Midwest.
Yeah. Actually, I love Cleveland. I didn't realize it was Cleveland. Why did I think Detroit?
You always say Detroit.
I always say that.
Yeah.
Okay, Cleveland. I'm going to memorize
that.
Yeah. Comes all the way from Cleveland to show us Excel tips. Now, this is Excel 2007.
Excel 2007. And we're talking about a problem today of how to figure out just the unique values.
Right.
So I have a big list. I need just a unique list of customers.
Right.
And I'm going to show this several different ways. The first way...
You've shown us this before.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the ways we used to do it in Excel 2003.
Okay, and this is something new in 2007.
And then the very last tip is how to do it in Excel 2007. Okay, so typically the classic solution to this was something called an advanced filter. an advanced filter, not the auto filter or that we've used before.
Which is no longer called the auto filter, it's just called the filter.
Exactly. So you go into advanced filter, you kind of have to think about it in advance.
That's because it's advanced.
I'm going to set up an output range over here with the customer heading.
Okay.
Choose one cell, click on advanced and say I want to copy to another location. I'm going to copy to that customer heading, unique records only, click OK.
So you check that box is the key.
Right.
And you have a list of all the customers.
My problem is I can't explain to anyone how to use this. Their eyes glaze over and they say, oh.
How many clicks?
It can't be done.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so then some people, and I have to admit I'm not entirely comfortable with this method, is they create a formula. They'll go to their spreadsheet and they'll use a COUNTIF formula that says, hey, take this customer and see how many times they've been used above this row.
And if the count is
zero, then it's unique. So we put this formula in, we convert the formulas to values.
That's even harder to explain.
And then sort it to have all the zeros come to the top, and those are the uniques.
Forget it.
Okay.
People do that, though, and that's kind of a hack that you probably had to do before the auto filter was around.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, now my favorite way to do this in any version is a pivot table.
Yeah, but nobody understands pivot tables. I still don't. You've been explaining this to me for years. I still don't understand pivot tables.
Let me show you how.
Show us how it. So he says this every time. Let me show you how easy.
I'm going to click pivot table.
Pivot table.
I'm going to click OK.
OK.
I'm going to click customer, and I'm done.
Oh, well, that was pretty easy.
Pivot table, OK, customer. But pivot table scares people away.
It does.
I get it. All right, so now let's switch into Excel.
I have to say that wasn't too hard. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's not 3 clicks and you're done.
But there was no pivoting involved, that's why.
None.
Yes.
No pivoting
That's what
at all.
saves me.
Okay.
Yes.
Microsoft.
Microsoft.
2 ways to solve this.
This is 2007. They realize that nobody can use this, so they say, okay, we'll figure out a better way.
Is miserable. They give us an option that says, hey, we're going to highlight all of the duplicate values.
Okay, but that's kind of the opposite of what I want.
Yeah, what they actually do is they highlight, anytime that something appears twice, they highlight both sides of it. So it doesn't give me the uniques. It identifies the ones that are problems, and then I have to go through and figure out what to do with it.
No, I don't. That's not how it works.
So I wrote about this, and I said, it shows they don't really work in the real world. They produce something that's...
Who wants that?
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, there must be some use for that. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the new way. Brand new button on the Data tab. It's a big button that says Remove Duplicates.
Boy, that's easy.
Okay, now so far, everything I've done is just getting a unique list of customer. Let's say I need customers and products. It says,
so you could select multiple.
Yes, I need every unique combination of customer and product.
Oh, see, that's great.
Click OK.
So it might have duplicate customers if the product is different. Then.
Yes,
or vice versa.
So right here, 483 duplicate values found and removed, 81 values remain.
Now, are they removed permanently, or they're just not?
Yes,
they're gone.
They are.
Okay, so you don't want to do this to your spreadsheet.
So
you might want to make a copy somewhere.
I have a real complaint that this icon does exactly what the icon says without
gone.
Without any
It's
warning.
not a filter.
No,
it's gone.
They're just gone. As I
wow.
Yeah. So Control Z, it brings them back.
Thank goodness there's an undo.
Undo works.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. So but in my seminars I say, well, hey, you have to watch out. This does exactly what it says.
Don't save
without any warning at all. So you would want to make a copy of the data set first.
I understand that. So, wow. Okay, so there's like a bunch of ways to do it, but that's nice.
That is a very obvious and very easy way to go. And even with the ability to do multiple columns, that's pretty nice. None of the other methods.
Even the pivot table can't do that?
Not very well.
Never say a pivot table can't do something, because Mr. Excel will come back and say, well, actually it can, but let me show you how.
Yeah, at this point, once you get the 2 columns, this is the easiest way to go.
I bet you Mr. Excel likes the pivot table method the best.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah. He's Mr. Excel. That's what makes him Mr. Excel. And you know what? If you read this book, Learn Excel 2007 with Mr. Excel, I bet you would be as good as Mr. Excel. Yeah. Everything he knows is in that book.
If you would just read 10 tips from this book, you would save an hour a week.
So that's the thing. I like how you put it that way. It's about saving time.
Oh, absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You can do things in Excel. It's how to do things in Excel very, very quickly.
And if you do a lot of Excel, saving an hour a week, and that could be a big difference.
Yeah, amazing.
Mr. Excel, you're the greatest. Thank you so much for coming by, and thanks for being such a great contributor to the world with your books and everything. That's just really neat. He answers tens of thousands of questions every year on his site as well for free. MrExcel.com. Bill Jelen, thank you for being here.
Thanks, Leo.
All right, we're going to take a break and come back in just a little bit. But first, a close-up look of something you'd find around the lab. Ah, yes, I remember it well. I spent many a year there. I don't know where. On the motherboard?
Yeah.
You think that's a motherboard?
Good tips there with the motherboard running.
Let's think about that, and we'll find out what it is when we zoom out, and the lab continues right after this. Welcome back to the lab. Before the break, we showed you this. I know what it is. It's a PCI slot. That's what that is. Or a parallax bobot. Could be that also. See, I thought it was a motherboard. See, and that was the white thing on the motherboard, but I guess it wasn't. He does it every time to me. Sean with his super duper macro lens goes in and out. Let's get another call. Kate Abraham, I see you got somebody lined up for us.
We have indeed. We have Jason from Cornwall in Ontario.
Hello, Jason.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I am freezing my nads off.
Is it a little cold in Cornwall?
Oh, yeah.
We saw some pictures from Toronto. And Toronto, which is normally pretty warm because it's the city and it holds the heat, and there was a ton of snow there, so I can imagine what it's like in Cornwall.
Right after I'm done talking to you, I'm going outside to shovel, so.
Got to do some shoveling. Hey, just think of it this way. It's great exercise.
True enough.
Builds those muscles.
That's what gets me through it.
So what can I do for you?
I guess my question revolved around keeping up to date with your drivers.
Okay.
Normally, if I just had the one system, it wouldn't be such an issue. But when I'm working with multiple systems, I have a small network at my house and one at my office. All the different hardware that I have to maintain, it kind of becomes a little bit daunting.
Yeah, and it's not like companies send you, that's the great thing about Windows Update. Windows will say, hey, there's an update. And in fact, in Vista, they do tell you about some key drivers. They'll say there's an update to your drivers. But it's not complete. It doesn't tell you everything you want to know. I mean, I wish it were better.
Exactly.
I use Version Tracker. Are you familiar with Version Tracker? It's a CNET product.
No, not at all.
VersionTracker.com. They have versions for Mac and Windows. And the Version Tracker Pro product, which I think is $50 or $60 a year, it's like a subscription, but you download it, you run it on your system. It's actually really cool. It looks at everything on your system, not just hardware, but all your applications, and it will tell you what needs to be updated, or what updates are available, I should say. Nothing can tell you what needs to be updated, but it'll tell you what updates are available. And then it has a link right there that you click, and it just starts downloading it. So you don't even, a lot of these updaters will say, oh, you need an update, and you want to go to the website, and you have to find the driver. This thing actually just downloads it for you, which is really, really cool. I'm a big fan of this product. I've used it for a long time. I'm sure there are other products. I'll tell you what, if you want to get a sense of it, if you go to versiontracker.com, you can download the Version Tracker and do it Pro for your first trial is free. So you download it and you install it, and it'll tell you, and it'll give you a sense of, on each computer, it'll give you a sense of, what it's keeping track of and how useful this is going to be for you. So I'm sure there are other programs that do this, but this is the one I've used for the longest time. I talked to the guy who did the original CNET technology, and even he says, yeah, Version Tracker is pretty good. So the Version Tracker Pro, it's not free. That's the negative about it. If you want, you don't have to do the free, you don't have to pay for it. You can do it manually. Version Tracker, the whole point of the Version Tracker site is to keep track of the latest versions of everything. So you could always use their manual search. But I think having the program run, and I have it running all the time in the background, so when there's an update, it notifies me automatically. And I wouldn't be surprised, I haven't tried this, but I bet you could do an automatic download even. So it'd be kind of more like Windows Update.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep. Doesn't do BIOS updates. That one, probably properly so. You really should do manually, because most of the time, it's such a risky thing to do a BIOS update. Most of the time, you want to really need it before you do it. I don't kind of willy-nilly do every BIOS update as it comes along. I wait till I have a problem that the BIOS update could possibly fix. I do keep an eye on them, though, just to see what things are patching. Okay. So stay warm. Don't go out there and shovel too much, and make sure you come back and have a nice warm mug of tomato soup and a grilled cheese sandwich.
Sounds like a deal.
That's my prescription for shoveling. I don't know why. Every time when the weather gets like that, that's what I want. I want cream of tomato soup and a grilled cheese sandwich. Is that just me? Am I the only one?
Well, I settle for a cold beer.
Or a beer. Do you do ice fishing, Jason?
No, I try to avoid those types of winter activities.
Yeah. See, I thought maybe you were that kind of guy, and so you like more cold.
Right.
No, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, thanks for calling, Jason. I really appreciate it. Stay warm in Cornwall.
Will do.
Take care. Hey, let's take a walk over to Sean, because it's time for a shiny. Everybody loves weather, especially this time of year. Now, of course, our Australian viewers are, it's summertime, it's beautiful. They want to know, is it a good day to go surfing? And our northern hemisphere viewers want to know if they need the mucklucks or not.
Yeah, or if they need the tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich.
Yes, that's right. This will tell you.
This will tell you. Yeah. So this is from Oregon Scientific.
I like weather things.
And it basically gives you a 4-day forecast of what's coming up.
It's more than just what's going on right now.
It's more than just what's right now. And it pulls this information down over MSN's Spot service. So it pulls this down automatically using information that's already going out to people with smartwatches and other.
See, I never wanted to wear a Spot watch because it was so big. This is the same information, but it's sort of
actually about as small as a Spot watch.
I know they're really about. Yeah, that would fit on your wrist.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a bit expensive at $349, but it does all of the weather things that you need. It tells you the forecast. It gives you, precipitation, humidity, temperatures, highs, lows, snows. So it gives you a nice.
Now it looks like it's doing different locations too. What's going on here? Is this?
Well, it's just one location. It's just cycling through different types of parameters in here. So
I see. That's precipitation, not temperature.
Give you humidity and all that. So it is 4 days in your location. So it's pulling it down over.
Is this Vancouver?
This is Vancouver.
We're going to have snow and it's going to be 0 degrees later on?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. But it looks like...
they told me it'd be warmer here.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No. So there you go. And it's got an alarm built in as well and a snooze feature.
And this antenna is needed for the...
The antenna is needed for reception, and that's one of the big downsides.
Oh, it's an alarm clock, too.
It's an alarm clock as well. So one of the big downsides is, because it uses FM, if you're inside a concrete cavern like we have here, you don't always get a reception, and it'll just go blank.
I see you don't need a subscription. I like that.
You don't need a subscription for the weather side, which is nice. And it does download it automatically. It keeps pulling, and when it gets out of range, it'll just...
That's the shinies. What about the dull, the negatives?
Downside, you need to be in a coverage area, so it may not work outside a city either.
It is hard to read the screen layout. You notice I got a little confused.
Oh, yeah. It's completely overwhelming with all of that information cycling through.
And if it's wrong, you have nobody to throw a slushie at. Whereas if the weatherman's wrong, you can really...
You can throw this out the window, but that's $350 out the window, too.
That's expensive. I like it, though. People love weather.
It's very handy.
So this is not a weather station. This gets the weather off the air.
Right.
I got it. From Oregon Scientific. Callie Lewis is coming up in just a little bit. She's going to show us USB gadgets. We actually have some of them here.
Yes, we do.
So we can show you. Callie's from Geek Brief TV, and she's be here in just a second. We love Callie. But right now, it's a chance to take this quick quiz question of the day. There's going to be we have USB 1.1, USB 2.0, now USB 3.0. How fast will it be? 480 megabits, 4,800 megabits, 5 gigabits, or 10 miles an hour? As fast as a speeding shopping cart. Go to the website, give us the answer. We'll talk about it a little later on when the lab continues. Welcome back to the lab. Leo Laporte here. Sure, we use USB for our keyboards, our mouse, our printers. But did you know you could use it for so much more? Callie Lewis does. She's got a whole array of USB gimcracks. And she's here right now from her studio in Dallas, Texas. She's actually at the X-Train Studios. Hello, Callie Lewis.
Hey, Leo.
Great to see you once again from Geek Brief TV, everybody's favorite gadget podcast on the Pod Show Podcast Network. So it's good to talk to you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited. I love USB gadgets.
Wait a minute. What is that? Do you have a lamp on your laptop?
I do. Now, this is the Delight from Boink, and it has a flex cable, so you can move it around.
It's funny looking. It's got a shade. That's the funniest thing I ever saw.
Orange shade. It has an on and off switch.
Okay.
So if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. And this is cool. It has an LED light, and it actually, rather than a normal lamp, you probably want to point it down at whatever you need to look at. But it's great for, if it's dark, if your computer doesn't give off enough light that, you need some extra light. It's fun. It's cute. It's adorable, right?
It is cute. And I could see, actually, it might be a little bit useful if you're in the dark and you want to see the keys. Your PowerBook lights up the keys, but not all laptops do that. That would be really handy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
How much is that?
It's $12.99.
That's a great stocking stuffer.
Totally.
Okay.
Yes.
What else you got?
You have a plasma ball there, a USB plasma ball. Right?
I know. This is very Dr. Evil. Yeah. So because USB has power on it, it can power things like this, which is kind of cool. Steve Gibson was telling me it's 5 volts, which is quite a bit. Watch when I do this. Ooh. Evil is talk $1 billion. What? I love this. This is so cool.
And those have been around. But if you go to ThinkGeek, and that's where it's from, and that is $12.99 as well, ThinkGeek has a great explanation about how it actually works. So
Do they say if it's okay to lick it?
A moment.
Would it hurt me if I licked it?
You can try. Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not recommended.
No, not recommended. I just wanted to see if you would do it.
That's fun. The USB, that has absolutely no functionality at all.
No, it's just fun.
Can't do diddly with that.
Release some stress there. And this is the Toast It from Boink, and this is so cute. It looks like a toaster.
Wait a
and
minute.
has the little handles here.
Is this for making mini bagels?
It is not for making mini bagels. It is actually a 7-in-1 card reader.
Oh, how funny.
So
how
you have
funny.
SD, you have MS, MMC, XD, Compact Flash 1 and 2, and Microdrive. So it's very, very useful. Not just, it just
So you put the
doesn't
card
look-
in the slot there. Does the handle go up and down, though? Just
No, it doesn't go up and down. It's just there, but it's so cute. It looks totally like a toaster.
That's
and
great.
when you put like an SD card in there or anything, it actually is orange inside, just like a toaster.
Oh, you're funny. That's so great. How much is that?
This is $19.99.
I think that's really, I mean, that's not bad, and I think that'd be a really good thing to have for your USB reader.
Totally. Yeah, I love it. I use it all the time, actually.
The Toast It. Boink seems to do a lot of interesting stuff.
Boink has a lot of stuff. They're very cool. A lot of fun, cute little gadgets. So it's BOYNQ.
Boink. B-O-Y-N-Q. Boink.
It's hard to spell.
So what else you got for me?
You have a one-can refrigerator there.
This is the
and it's
silliest.
Powered by USB.
This is so crazy. So it looks like a
I
fridge.
know.
This goes with your toaster. You have a little miniature kitchen, like a dollhouse kitchen, but it does actually hold a beverage. Oh, it's cold.
Yes,
That's 'cause it
it's
came right
cold.
out of the
It keeps it
machine.
cold so that you don't have to get up from your desk and go find a Coke. If you're too busy working, you're serious about your work, you've got a Coke right there for you to keep you
Now,
refreshed.
in my
And
experience
it has
with-
an LED light.
With some of the other coolers, they won't cool down something that's warm, but they'll keep something that's already cold cooler longer, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not powerful enough to chill a can of Coke.
Not from
Not from
being
scratch.
room temperature. You're going to want to start with something a little bit chilled.
So do you actually have this next to the toaster on your desk? You need a USB little miniature.
I have it there. I don't have it. I would like to have it. I do, get thirsty, and I won't get up because I'm too busy working.
Send this to Callie. Send this to Callie. It could go with her toaster. And then I want a little USB ironing board. You could make that a
Yes,
mouse
an
pad or
ironing
something.
board.
Yeah.
That
Perfect.
would be
You'd have a
so
whole
cute.
kitchen.
The other thing you have there is a doomsday device.
I like this. This is the
This
doomsday
is not
device.
only fun, it's useful, but let's start with the fun part.
Okay.
So go ahead and flip your first switch,
Okay, we're going to flip the first switch on.
and then get nervous. You flip your second switch.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Uh-oh. And then the third switch is actually key activated.
That's
Are
so
you
that we can't
authorized
accidentally set
to
this
use
off.
The key? Do you have?
I do. I have my assistant here has put as the key. Bring me the key. Bring me the key. Will you open the box, assistant? All right. Now we have the key, and without this, you cannot blow up the world.
You cannot blow up the world now.
So now we're putting in the key, and I'm going to
Okay.
turn it.
Turn it, and then you hit the red button.
Hold on. I'm not good with keys. Okay. I'm going to turn this. Oh, it's armed. It's ready. So this is it, right?
Yes.
Really?
Did you
Should
hit
I
the red
push?
button?
Should I push this button?
Push it.
Oh! It blew up the world.
What did you do to me, Leo?
That's it. That's all it does.
So you can blow up the world. Who knows what it does? It can pinch me.
It's also there is some functionality because it's a 4-port USB hub as well, right?
Yes, that's the useful part of it. Nobody knows it's actually useful. They think you might blow them up, but it actually is a 4-port USB hub.
I think this is really cute. How much is this?
This $39.99.
It's a little expensive because you have to pay for all the fancy electronics, but I think that's just
Right.
great. If you need a USB hub, why not have one that could blow the world up?
Absolutely, and scare your friends.
No, don't press the red button whatever you do. That would be fun. Let's do that one more time. Callie Lewis is the host and star of Geek Brief at geekbrief.tv. It's a pod show netcast, and she is the host of Dear Callie at dearcallie.com. And what else do you do?
iCallie.tv is my personal blog.
She's busy.
And I, do stuff with you, Leo, all the time.
Thank goodness. We'll see you at Macworld Expo. We're going to have a lot of fun down up in San Francisco.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Thank you, Callie, so much. It's always great to talk to you. You're the greatest.
Thanks, Leo.
Take care. Crazy USB stuff from Callie Lewis. It's all on our show notes at labwithleo.com. And don't forget Callie at geekbrief.tv. More of your calls coming up in just a bit as the lab continues. You stay right here. One more time. Ah!
Hey, welcome back to the Lab with Leo. I'm Kate Abraham, and my tip of the day, I think, is my favorite website for the whole year. It's called boomshuffle.com, and the idea is you can create online playlists of certain music, different playlists for different moods, and it plays the entirety of the track. It's a fantastic site. It's called boomshuffle.com. Super easy to use. All you need to do is create a list by literally giving it a title. So, for instance, I can be chilling in the bathtub with a glass of wine. They offered me that title, by the way. And then what you can do is you can then design the background. So, for instance, I could use some icicles like that.
That's chilly.
And then you go through, and then what you do is you go by genre. So then you go through rock, and then what you do is you can click on a rock. So, say, for instance, the Foo Fighters. I can add their track to my playlist. Oh, cool. And then the good thing is it then gives you similar artists. So, for instance, if your genre interest is, say, rock music, you can go through and say, okay, I want to use the Cars. And then you can click through. And what you need to do is add 15 tracks. And then what you can do is basically from there, just click play, and the tracks play, and they're full.
Now, why 15? Can you do fewer or more?
No, you need 15 to actually start a playlist.
Okay.
And the good thing is it's a completely legal site. It's got the same legislation as internet radio.
Okay.
So this is what it basically is. So it's completely legal. Obviously, you can't download them, so you have to play it from.
It's like Pandora, or there are a lot of sites that do
this. And the cool thing is, if you're in the house and you're doing stuff, and you want to create a playlist for, like, I don't know, you're packing or you're cleaning. You just do that.
Very cool. But don't take your laptop in the bathtub with you, okay?
I wouldn't suggest that.
Not recommended.
A glass of wine, yes.
Laptop, no.
Laptop.
Boom Shuffle.
Boomshuffle.com.
It's also got a great name.
It's a really cool site. I'm really, really into this site at the moment. Can't leave it alone. And the cool thing is you can share it with your friends as well.
Oh, you could make a playlist that you share with others.
Yes.
Oh, that's neat. I like that. Very cool.
Thank
and it's free.
Absolutely free, 100%. I think I might have stolen a free file.
Sorry, Ryan.
Ryan's going to shoot me.
He'll find others, I'm sure. Let's get another caller on the air.
Fantastic. We're going to Sherwood Park in Alberta, and we have Ryan.
All right. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Hello, Ryan.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
Oh, my great pleasure. What can I do for you today?
Well, security, computer security. I right now I have McAfee security system.
Yes.
And it works well, but it has a few annoying features, at least for me. I'm not a geeko-tech or anything like that, so maybe I'm not looking at it right, but a lot of times it'll just come on, start doing scanning.
Yeah.
I can't eliminate, or do it later.
Yeah.
It downloads its security stuff, and it usually slows down the system right away when you're in the middle of something.
Yeah, it's intrusive.
So I was poking around in my McAfee file, and I found out that they had my credit card number on it.
Oh, really?
And, or at least part of it showing.
Right.
And so I tried to eliminate it, and it won't let me.
Really?
And I find out that I agreed somewhere along the line.
The auto-renew.
Online to automatically have it updated every year.
Right.
I particularly don't like that idea because it doesn't give me choices.
Right.
So I couldn't update it. I phoned couldn't change it, so I phoned the helpline. And
you actually have to call them to get that to stop?
Yeah, and after a bit of an argument and my threatening to put a false credit card number on there just to satisfy the system, they did take it off.
That's you shouldn't. It's one thing. I understand that their theory is, well, people forget, so it'd be nice to automatically update so you never have a day without protection. But they shouldn't make it hard for you to stop. That really annoys me when it's hard to cancel something like that.
Yeah, and I agree with most companies. When I phone them back after using my credit card for a second time, they ask us for it again. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't store it, and I think that's a problem.
I'm not fond of McAfee for other reasons. It tends to be bloated. It's not as effective as other antiviruses. Let me give you a few other choices. In the commercial sector, you know we like Nod 32 a lot. Sean has done a lot of testing on a variety of them. This is a very lightweight, effective antivirus, does spyware as well. You could try it free for 30 days. I do get complaints about it because it has a power user interface, and I think some people find that a little overwhelming. So I would suggest before you buy, you try. Just to see, you know, what happens after you try it for 30 days, you can then activate it without re-downloading. So, and I find this one is, because it is so lightweight, it really doesn't slow your system down. Now, I have been in touch with the folks at Norton Antivirus, and I have to say, I had the same complaints about Norton that I've had about McAfee. What happens is, they try to get all the check marks, you know, in PC Magazine in the reviews, so that they do everything. They do too much, and they start to slow your system down. Norton had a particularly real problem with this in the 2006 edition, and I complained, a lot of people complained. They listened, and the new Norton 2008 is, I'm told, much more reliable. I do not recommend Norton 360. That's too much stuff. But if you want, or internet security, but if you just want the antivirus, the Norton antivirus is pretty good. That's 2008 version. But it does that same renewal thing that McAfee does. There are some free choices I want you to know about. In general, these free antiviruses aren't as fast at scanning. They may not be as complete as the paid ones, but they usually do a pretty good job. You know, one thing that's changed with viruses, antivirus software, is that they it's too late. By the time you have a virus, they really often can't remove them. All they really serve to do is say, oh, you're out of luck. You got a virus. Now it's time to really, you know, scorched earth format the hard drive. Once you get one virus on your system, it's very hard to get rid of them permanently, effectively, and to be confident that they're gone. So an antivirus is of limited use. You really have to change your behavior. Stop downloading files from strange sites, opening email attachments, clicking on links in emails. Those kinds of things are very dangerous, and no antivirus will really protect you from those. AVG offers a free version, free.grisoft.com. It's pretty good. It'll give you that scan afterwards, you know, so that you know that you're clear. I think this is very good. It's a come on for their paid protection, but I think it's fine. Another one that is free is Antivir. It's from free-av.com. This is pretty good. Avast is a third one. I'll put links to all three of these in the show notes. They're not as good as the commercial versions. They have the advantage of they don't take your credit card because they're free. And probably any one of these would be more than adequate if you make sure you don't do dangerous things. That means, Ryan, not opening attachments, not clicking links in email. Don't download files from sites you don't absolutely trust. Don't run in administrative mode. That's a little hard in XP, but Vista and OS X make it pretty easy to run as a limited user. That really protects you quite a bit because viruses can't get into the system. They can't install themselves. You do those things, and you make sure you do Windows Update. Whenever Windows says there's a critical update, make sure you apply that update right away. You do those things, you're much less likely to get a virus. That's better. In fact, many security experts do those things and don't even run antiviruses. I would still have an antivirus just to keep an eye on things in case. But the most important thing is changing your behavior. So there's some choices. Antivir, Avast, AVG, those are free. My favorite commercial antivirus is ESET's Nod 32. Very, very good from ESET.com. Norton 2008, I'm hearing good things about. I think they've really fixed a lot of the problems. But your behavior is the most important thing to change. All right, let's take a walk. Thank you for the call, Ryan. A great question. Another Ryan is here. Ryan Ewell with a jewel.
Yes, we're on Mac, Windows, and Linux today.
All three?
All three.
You can't do that?
Well, I can,
okay,
and I will.
Go ahead.
I'm on Windows. It's called Buddy.
Buddy.
I've been searching for a budget program for a while. I find a lot of them, they cripple it and they give you just the bare minimum. They want you to upgrade. This does have an upgrade feature, but it's really good. It's really free. And the thing that's really cool about it is simple. It's simple. So here we go. I've set up an account.
Let's see your budget. What's your budget for pizza this month?
Right now I've set up the budget where I've got different categories. I can add categories. So I've set my salary.
We've got to pay you better.
Well, this is not my real salary. I thought about that.
If that's all we're paying paying you. We got to pay you. You're worth a lot more than that.
Thank you. We have so auto entertainment. So you set your budget. So I've done it for December. If you want to add something, you just double click, and now you can start adding things. So I can add a new.
So it doesn't balance your checkbook, but it keeps track of what you're spending and allows you to set limits.
Exactly.
Like
and then once you've done your set your budget and you've told it what you spent, you can go to reports and you can add a report. So you can just say like this month, and it actually opens up in an Explorer.
BUDDI.
BUDDI.
And we find that where?
You find it at labwithleo.com, free files. Jules.
160 other ones there too. It's full of great stuff. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more of your calls. Let's do. Steve Gibson actually is going to talk about the safety or non-safety, it should be, of Bluetooth. But let's get one more chance to get your quick quiz question of the day. What is the proposed speed for the new USB 3? I didn't even know they were doing it. How fast is it going to be? 480, 4800, 5 gigabytes, or 10 miles an hour? Tell you what, we'll tell you when the lab continues. You stay here. Welcome back to the lab. Before the break, we asked you what the new USB 3 is going to be. Well, 2 was 480 megabits, so I'm guessing 4,800 megabits a second. I'd be guessing correct there, because 5 gigabytes would be a little too fast. But 4,800, now remember with USB, 4,800, it may not be fully 4,800. There's a lot of overhead with USB, so it usually doesn't get to the top, but that's a lot faster.
And it probably cools off your can a lot faster.
It sure does. My can's a lot cooler now. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Steve Gibson of GRC.com, the security wizard, and he's here to give us the bad news about Bluetooth. Is it that bad?
Well, yes.
There are more Bluetooth devices now than any other wireless device out there.
Because of all the phones that exist, and people like, it's a typical trade-off between convenience and security. It turns out that, we know from a long history of Wi-Fi problems that wireless is trouble.
Right.
And most of the insecurity from Bluetooth comes from mostly user lack of awareness. So the good news is there are things that people can do.
But out of the box, your phone, your earpiece, your laptop may not be securely configured. It may be configured for lower security.
Well, exactly. What typically happens is you have to do something called pairing. In order to pair two devices.
Yeah. So I get a Bluetooth headset. I have to pair it with my phone so they can talk to each other.
Yes, and that requires one end or the other to be in a so-called discoverable mode.
Right. On my headset, I'll press two buttons at the same time, and it'll blink red and blue, and it says, okay, I'm ready to pair.
And then the phone can see it.
And the phone says, oh, and then you go to the phone and say, I want to add a Bluetooth device. It says, I see a headset. You enter the code, which is always 0000.
Yep.
And it's paired.
Yep. Now, if anyone was listening to that process, if they happen to have something monitoring during the pairing process, they know the MAC address, just like an Ethernet adapter.
The unique address of that hardware.
Of each end.
Okay.
And at that point, you're in trouble.
Because they can spoof it?
Yes, well, because any Bluetooth device will accept an unsolicited connection. There are levels to what you can do with it, but you can connect to any phone whose MAC address you know.
As long as I know the address.
As long as you know the address. But many people make the mistake of leaving their devices in the discoverable mode.
Right.
Sometimes it's not just like a stick it in discoverable and then it automatically kicks out, which is one of the annoying things. I discovered that my Trio, I left it discoverable by mistake. Because you can get distracted or just leave it that way. Well, if it's that way, you are essentially broadcasting the MAC address of that device.
Oh dear, so then they can find it easily.
It's hard not to find it.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Now the problem is that, as was the case early on in the PC industry, many of these devices have known problems, known security defects, and anybody is able then to use those to literally run, for example, a buffer overrun on your phone and install their own software. Get your phone to execute code without your knowledge or permission.
So they could put a Trojan horse on it. They could place long-distance phone calls with it.
They can get your phone book, your address book. There's like an FTP protocol where they can do a file transfer from your phone's database into a local machine in order to suck the data out of it. And we've already seen worms and viruses implemented using these technologies.
So let's lock our phones down. It is possible to lock them down with existing Bluetooth?
Yes.
Okay.
4 things that you want to do, essentially. Right. You want to, if you're not using Bluetooth, the whole Bluetooth radio, turn it off. That has the advantage also of saving batteries, because it is a radio and it does consume some power.
When it's off, you're safe.
When it's off, you are really safe.
But sometimes we need to use it.
If you need to have it on, then make sure it's not discoverable. Turn off that discoverable mode. You only need discoverability during that initial pairing process.
I drove by
and then not again.
a billboard that said, turn your phone on discoverable mode and we'll send you a file.
No.
As I was driving by the highway. Can you believe that? So, I mean, there are people actively using this. Wow. Now, it was an advertisement. It wasn't, it was something, but... Okay, so that's two. Turn off discoverable. Even if a billboard tells you to leave it on, turn it off.
Right.
What else?
Third,
and by the way, once you've paired, you don't need discoverable anymore.
Correct. It's only needed briefly during that first association.
Okay.
Third, never have if your phone prompts you to accept something. Don't. I mean, it's like clicking on the link in email. It's the same thing.
Okay.
We've taught users, do not click links in spam.
Right.
Do not accept unexpected prompts from your phone.
Even if it says it's coming from your phone company and it's a system update?
Exactly.
Because phone companies don't do that.
New Nokia firmware or something.
They don't
it's
do it.
never
They don't
going to
work
be
that way.
unsolicited.
Okay.
And then fourth, there are known problems. Phone manufacturers or computer makers will be updating known security problems. Okay. So from time to time, check with the manufacturer to see if there's an update. And if there is, you really have to do it, because they're not updating if they don't have to.
Right. Is there a new version of Bluetooth coming that will be more secure?
Yes, there have been several versions moving along. I think there's a 2.1 is the new one.
And this time they're paying attention.
We're working on making it better, but there's still the problem that the user has to be aware of vulnerabilities. And for example, leaving discoverable on is a simple mistake everyone makes.
I have to go now. I have to check my phone.
I had made the mistake myself.
Steve Gibson, grc.com. That's where you'll find his great program, SpinRite. It's really the best way to keep your hard drive in tip-top shape. He also has great free security software there like Shields Up and our podcast, Security Now, which we do every Thursday, talking about issues just like that. In fact, we're going to do a big, long one on this subject.
An expanded one on Bluetooth, yeah.
Thank you, Steve. Really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
A final word coming up right after I fix my phone. Stay right here. So, if things are in Bluetooth discoverable mode, you can on your Bluetooth device look for things. I did that on my BlackBerry, and I found, look at all the things I found.
That's crazy, eh?
Chris?
You found Chris.
Chris, your phone's in discoverable mode. Tavis, your computer's in discoverable. So is our iMac. So is this iMac. And so is something called W810i. What is that?
Who knows?
Oh, my goodness. You could control the control room from here. Wow, that's really interesting. My phone, however, is not in discoverable mode, I'm happy to say. I don't know why, but it's not. I'm going to leave it that way.
Scary,
isn't that scary?
It's kind of scary.
I hope you've had some fun today and learned something. I know I have. If you would like to come back, we'd like to have you. In fact, we'd like to have you as a guest on the show. Just go to labwithleo.com/
take questions, submit your question, and we'll get you on.
Yep. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on The Lab.